Hey guys, in this video we're going to be going over the Tactacam 5.0 camera and the Tactacam FTS or film through scope package, which is the setup that I use when filming through my scope. So a few of you guys have already asked me in some of my more recent videos what is the setup that I use when I'm filming through my scope, and that is the Tactacam 5.0 camera in combination with the Tactacam FTS or film through scope mount. The FTS mount package is separate, so you got to purchase that separately. I'm going to list the pricing of the items either in the description or as a pop-up somewhere on the screen here while you guys are watching that as well, so you guys are aware. Keep in mind, I reside in Canada, so if you guys are purchasing this in the United States, your prices are going to be a little bit different according to the exchange rate in the marketplace down there. So having said that, there is a lot of things that I can talk about with this camera and this setup, and I don't really want to make a 30-minute video here for you guys, so I'm trying to keep it as concise and as short as possible. But if you guys do find me rambling on about something, just know that if I keep that in the video here after editing, it's probably because I think it's important to let you guys know these little tidbits based on my experience of using this thing so far. But anyways, let's dive in and I'll show you guys what comes in each of the packages. So obviously I've already opened them, I've already used them, but I put them back in the packages here and I'll open that up for you guys as a little unboxing to show you guys what it all comes with. And then I'll show also how I install that onto my scope here. And then after that, I'll show you guys some footage of me shooting at some steel. And I think I shot from 300 yards out to like 1,000 yards, so you guys will have a good idea of what the video quality looks like, you know, at the closer ranges, 100 to 300 yards, and as far as 1,000 yards or whatever, 800 to 1,000 yards that I also shot at on that day. When you do zoom in on your scope, it does zoom in on the video as well. So what you're seeing on the video is what you're seeing through your scope. So when you see that footage of me shooting like 900 to 1,000 yards, target might look a little small. I think I was either shooting anywhere from like 12 to 15x magnification. My scope goes up to 24, so I could actually have dialed that in a little bit further, and you can see the target a little bit better. But I don't know, I don't like shooting, you know, at full power of the scope. I like shooting around 12 to 15 tops, even at like 1,000 yards. I think I'm only at like 12x mag. And then after I show you guys some of the footage there, I will give you guys my final thoughts on Tactacam and the FTS package. So far, I like it. It does take a little bit of tweaking in the beginning to get the setup correct so that you have a clear reticle and also a clear sight picture so that your video quality is also clear. Anyways, guys, having said that, let us jump right in. I will show you guys what the Tactacam 5.0 and the FTS mount comes with in the packages. So when you get the Tactacam 5.0, it'll come in a box like this, and you open up that box and there is your camera. It also comes with a cover like this, a little bag for the camera here as well. And of course, the instruction booklet is included in the package as well. I don't have that anymore, I forgot where I put it. But anyways, there is the camera close up there for you guys. Make sure it's focused. It's going to have two buttons there. You're gonna have the power button right at the top, and then you've got your mode button here and your mode / Wi-Fi button right there. So there's like 3 different modes I think you can switch with for this. I think it's either like 3x or 4x zoom, and then the second mode I think is like 8x zoom or something like that. I usually just keep it at the 3x zoom. So basically at that zoom level, what I'm seeing through my scope is what is being seen on the video footage. The camera itself, super easy to operate. You're basically, all you're doing is pressing the power button once, and it'll turn on and automatically start recording, and then you press it another time and then it'll turn off. If you leave the camera on, not recording, but like you turn off the recording but the camera is still on, it'll automatically shut off after, I think it's 2 minutes or something like that, and in order to save battery life. So it's a nice feature. And then when you need to record again, you just press the button once and it starts recording again already. I think there's about 1 second delay, so keep that in mind, that there's about a 1 second delay before the camera will actually start recording. So say you're taking a shot, if you're hunting and you're filming your hunt and you're taking a shot at an animal, make sure you keep that in mind, otherwise you might miss the actual shot footage if you press it right away and then take the shot before the 1 second delay starts recording for you. Okay, with the mode and the functions and everything else, I'm not really going to get into all of that in this video. It's going to be too long, so I'm sure you guys are going to have a bunch of questions, because I'm not going to go over all the details. And if you guys have questions, I just want you to type your questions out in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer them either directly in the comments there, or if I find that your question is better answered through another video, then maybe I'll just film a follow-up video answering that question. Now, like I said earlier, when you buy the Tactacam 5.0 camera, it doesn't come with this. This, the FTS mount, is what you need to actually get the camera attached onto your scope. So opening this package, I'll show you guys what it comes with here. This is the mount that goes on to your scope. So this mount attaches onto your scope, and then the Tactacam goes into here. This goes onto your scope, Tactacam goes onto here, and it's just secured by tightening these screws just with an Allen key. Be careful not to over tighten onto your scope, because you might damage your scope. So do not over tighten, just get it tight enough so that it's secure and it doesn't, you know, slide off with the recoil when you're shooting. On this package here as well, you will get, here, there's the Allen key. But on the package there as well, you'll also get a bunch of different sleeves for attaching this to your scope. So I've got this sleeve on there right now to fit my Vortex Diamondback Tactical there. This is the sleeve that fits for it, and they're all numbered, so this is the number 6 sleeve right there. Then you've got a bunch of other ones here as well, so they're all different sizes. So depending on what size your scope is, you will use a different sleeve as an attachment to the FTS mount, just like that, and they all just fit in like that. Then you slide that onto your scope and then you tighten it securely. So these are the things that come with the FTS package when you get it. Alright, now for putting it onto your scope here, it's actually really easy to get this onto your scope. So like I said, I'm using this sleeve for this particular scope. It could be different depending on what scope you're using. So, and how you can tell which sleeve to use is which number sleeve fits nice and snug onto your scope like that. So for me, it's number 6 on this one. So all we do is we slip this sleeve onto the scope there first, and I think I had that tightened up, so I've got the Allen key here. We're just going to loosen that up a little bit so we can slip her on. There we go. That's nice and snug. Now, real quick, you want the sleeve right flush with the top of your scope there. You don't want the sleeve down like this, and then when you slip that on, now your scope here is making contact with the glass inside. So you want that sleeve right at the top like that, and there's a stopper here on the sleeve. Okay, so this is another factor for being able to get a clear sight picture and a clear reticle. You're gonna have weird stuff like on the side of the scope, like black dots, and it's just not going to be clear on the video if you have this sleeve fully down like that. So you want that right at the top, and then you slip that on and it'll automatically stop at that stopper on the sleeve. So now that we've got that onto the scope, all we got to do is tighten it up right there. I like to, when I'm doing it, I won't tighten it up all the way. I want to still be able to move it around and rotate it a little bit, and I'll show you guys why here in a sec. Now the next step is we have the Tactacam there. So obviously you got the camera side going inwards into the FTS mount there, and since I have this tilted, it's going to slide off. So this one we want to just stick that in all the way until it touches at the end, and then we tighten that up. Now again, I want this so that I can still kind of move it around like that, not tight all the way just yet, and I will show you guys why right away. Alright, now there's the Tactacam app right there. So all we're gonna do is turn that on, and you can see in the app there on the phone, I've already got my Tactacam 5.0 camera paired and connected to the app. So all we got to do is turn the camera on. So like I said, you just press it once there on the power button, and that'll automatically start recording, and it'll let you know that it's recording by a blinking green light. So what I'm going to do is press it another time so that it stops recording. We have to pair the camera onto the Wi-Fi here, but before we do that, we have to press and hold the mode button on the Tactacam here. So I think it's 5 seconds, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll vibrate, and then you should be able to see it on your Wi-Fi, and there it is, Tactacam 5.0. So we'll go ahead and pair that up, and once that's paired and the camera is on, should be able to click onto the camera here on the app, and now you can see the live view of the scope there, what it's seeing. Might want to flip that cap off, eh? Okay, so now you can see the live view of what the scope is seeing there. There it is. Okay, now the reason why I said to kind of keep this a little bit loose both on the camera and on the scope mount itself is so you can adjust and make sure that the reticle is straight. So right now mine's a little bit crooked here, so what I'll do is I'll just turn this camera a little bit, and there we go. Now the reticle is straight. I don't know if you can see that well enough there, but there, see the reticle is straight now. So now what we can do is now we can tighten. So we'll tighten up the camera here. Good, that's enough. And for the scope mount itself here as well, we will tighten that up. Like I said, don't tighten it too much, only until it's nice, snug, and secure. That is how you put on the Tactacam with the FTS scope mount onto your scope. Alright guys, side rant here on the way that I have the FTS mounted on my scope here. As you can see, I have it mounted vertically like that. Okay, you can mount it so it's off to the side. On either side you can have it so it's mounted diagonally like that, or even on the other side like that. So something to keep in mind okay, is making sure that however you have it mounted, that your bolt can run without hitting the scope. So I don't know if you guys can see there, but see that thing, like where the screws are on the FTS mount there? If I had it mounted this way, that bolt kind of hits that part of the FTS mount. If I have it mounted vertically, it clears it no problem. Obviously, if I have it mounted to this side, I can't. It's going to hit the camera. I could have it mounted to this side, but the bolt knob comes pretty close to this part right here. So for this particular scope, I have it mounted completely vertically like that. On another rifle, on my 308, I have it mounted diagonally like this on that 308, because of the way that the bolt runs. I have to have it diagonally like this so that it will clear that and the bolt can run properly without hitting the mount. Doesn't really matter which direction you put the mount. You can put the mount in whatever orientation you want, and to get the reticle straight, you just leave the mount like that so that the bolt can clear and run, and then you just rotate the camera itself until the reticle is straight. So instead of rotating the mount until the reticle is straight, you just have it like this diagonally, for example, and then you rotate the camera until your reticle is straight. Another thing to keep in mind is, because of the FTS mount, it does stick out a little bit further closer to your face. Okay, so keep that in mind. For example, if you have it mounted completely to the side here and you're shooting a higher caliber rifle and with a little more recoil, you could potentially get smoked in the nose with this sticking out to the side like that. Okay, now I have gotten scoped, and that was on my 308, but and it's usually okay on that gun, but I was coyote hunting and I had to move around and take a quick shot, and I didn't have it mounted onto my shoulder properly, so I didn't have proper support there, and the recoil on that, you know, with this thing sticking out almost an inch further back, I ended up getting scoped. Luckily, this is kind of padded. I wouldn't say necessarily padded, but it is, I guess, I don't know what this is, rubber. So it is soft. I didn't get cut or anything like that, but I did get scoped in the forehead there. So just keep that in mind when you are choosing an orientation for your FTS mount here. Alright guys, well that is a quick overview of the Tactacam 5.0 with the FTS mount and how we install it onto our scope. So I'll show you guys some footage of me at the range on the Tactacam shooting at steel from 400 yards out to 1,000 yards, so you guys can see what that looks like. There we go. Beauty. Hit. Impact. There we go. Small plate.
You hit at 3 inches up from the right hand edge.
Nice. Smoked them. Alright, well, I put some bonus footage in there for you guys with that coyote. That is the one that I was saying that I shot at where I got scoped with my 308 there. But as you guys can see, overall, it does work pretty good. It works great for hunting footage. It even works great even out to like 1,000 yards when you're like shooting steel and stuff like that. You can see it pretty clear. Like, you're not gonna see the impact on the steel out at like 1,000 yards, but like you can see you hitting the target. So it does work pretty good for my needs. I like it. It is it's easy to set up, as you guys can see there. So overall, I guess I would recommend this setup. Another one that people use that I know is called Tactacam. It's quite a bit more expensive than getting the Tactacam with the FTS setup, but I think it's just like a one-piece thing. It looks pretty good too. I've seen some footage of the Tactacam on YouTube as well. It looks pretty good. I don't have one, so I can't really give you personal experience comparison with it because I've never used it, but I've seen some footage of it on YouTube and it works pretty good as well. So that's another option that you might want to consider, but the easier option to get is the Tactacam with the FTS. The Tactacam, I think you got to order from I think they're made and shipped out of South Africa. So if you look at their website, everything is in South African currency, which is rand or whatever it's called, and I think that's the only place that you can buy it. I don't think there's any like North American distributors that carry that product, so I think you'd have to order it directly from South Africa, but I could be wrong, who knows. Anyways, Tactacam 5.0 with the FTS mount is the easier option to get, and it's readily available. So yes, I do recommend this setup. But yeah, I hope you guys found this video helpful, and if you did enjoy the video, I would highly appreciate it if you hit that like button. Check out some of my other content on the channel as well, and if you find that you enjoy my content in general, I would highly appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button also, and that notification bell so you can stay tuned when I upload future videos as well. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave them down in the comment section below. This was kind of just a quick down and dirty video overview of the Tactacam with the FTS setup on here. So I didn't get into all the nitty-gritty details. Like I said, there's a lot that I can talk about on this video with this setup, but I didn't want to make the video too long. So I know you guys are going to have some questions, and maybe you end up buying a Tactacam because of this video, and then you try it out and maybe there's some stuff that you can't figure out. Just come back to this video, leave me a note in the comment section, ask me whatever questions you have, and I will do my best to answer them, whether that is directly in the comments below, or if it is a question where I think it might be better answered with another video, then I will let you know, and I will film a follow-up video and hopefully get your questions answered. Once again, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.